In the cold shadows of a dark dungeon, retribution finally arrives. Arcadina, long hardened by the fires of her past, confronts her sister Sierra. The first queen of the empire now finds herself at the mercy of the very woman she once sought to destroy. As the blade traces a path of blood across her skin, the stage is set for a final, brutal reckoning. Words are no longer enough to satisfy the hunger for justice. With each slice of the dagger, the past unfolds, a cycle of betrayal and cruelty orchestrated by their husband, the man who turned both sisters into monsters. For Sierra, the pain is not just physical. It is the shattering of her pride as her beauty is erased forever. The final truth is revealed. The daughter of the sister, Carrie, has already been dealt with. The cycle of vengeance is reaching its bloody conclusion, and as the blade plunges into the heart of the first queen, Sierra's last regret is not for her crimes, but for the man she once called her husband. While one queen falls, another watcher in the shadows delights in the chaos. The palace intrigue deepens, for Arcadina is merely a piece in a much larger, more lethal game. One down, one more to go, the lady whispers to the night. In the bustling land of Baymard, life moves forward with purpose. Landon, a man of modern brilliance in a world of tradition, reviews the progress of his new territories. Here, development is a slow, steady march as he orchestrates a revolution in infrastructure and industry. Plans shift as quickly as the wind. A request for a taste testing at the industrial food sector forces Landon to sacrifice a secret day out with his mother. The responsibilities of a leader leave little room for personal desires, but the promise of new, delectable products keeps him moving forward. The lower industry, usually hidden from the public eye, reveals its marvels to the king and his loyal secretary. The sheer scale of the production leaves Brian in awe, a stark contrast to the refined halls of the palace he is accustomed to. Taste testing begins in earnest. The workshop is filled with an array of experimental delicacies, from dark cocoa bars to strange, colorful confections. Landon evaluates each sample, knowing that the success of these products hinges on the feedback gathered today. Brian raises a valid concern. How do they ensure customers don't abandon the product after a single bad experience with an intense dark cocoa bar? The solution, however, lies in the upcoming water festival, a golden opportunity for free sampling. Peace is fleeting. A sudden, chilling system alert shatters Landon's calm. A new mission awaits, and the consequence of failure is absolute. He must leave Baymard at once, locking his office door and disappearing into the night to face the unseen threat. Deep in the hilly ranges of Dafras, the weak are hunted. Prince Henry and his remaining men are dragged in chains toward a fortified base. After weeks of suffering and attrition, they are brought to the foot of a mountain that serves as their final destination. The cruel reality of the empire is laid bare. Prince Henry, labeled the weakest of his kin, is discarded like trash. His own brothers, fearing a potential rise, have orchestrated his demise, viewing him as a threat that must be erased before the sun sets on the next day. Amusement for the wicked. The base prepares a gruesome show, an arena filled with bagwers, creatures as fast as they are deadly. Starved and lethal, they wait for their prey, a final, cruel spectacle to entertain the guards while they place their bets. The odds are stacked against the desperate. 57 prisoners remain, armed only with simple steel, facing a swarm of beasts. The guards cheer from above, their greed manifest as they wager on which prisoner will fall first to the fangs of the hungry creatures. The battle is a blur of agony and steel. Henry fights with the spirit of a true warrior even as his strength wanes. Each strike, each defense is a desperate prayer for a miracle that seems light years away. The creatures close in, relentless and starving. Then the impossible happens. A thick pink mist descends upon the arena, swallowing the battle and the fighters in a single, silent wave. The cheering stops, replaced by the murmurs of a crowd who cannot fathom this sudden, mystical intervention. As the smoke clears, the carnage is laid bare. The beasts are slain, and standing in their midst is a stranger who claims to be a fairy godmother. His casual confidence shocks the guards and provides the first flicker of hope for the surviving prisoners. He is no fairy, but a king of unconventional warfare. Landon turns the arena into a trap, his explosives tearing through the enemy ranks. The spectators' laughter turns to screams as the tables are violently turned, and a chaotic path of escape is carved through the carnage. A king doesn't work for free. Before the escape is complete, Landon systematically strips the base of its ill-gotten wealth. With a flick of his wrist and a hidden power, the treasury is emptied, leaving the bandits with nothing but empty rooms and broken dreams. The final stand. Landon seals the prisoners away for their safety, opting to face the remaining garrison alone. He stands in the hallway, a solitary figure against a wave of steel, his movements fluid and lethally precise as he prepares for the final push. Arrows rain down like a storm, yet not one finds its mark. Landon weaves through the chaos, his blade a blur of silver. The guards' arrogance is replaced by a primal terror as they realize they are not fighting a man, but a force of nature. The base has fallen. The commander is broken, his men scattered like leaves in a gale. With the mission complete, the prisoners are reunited with their savior. The fairy godmother has delivered them from the jaws of death, and the path to freedom lies open. A miracle in the moonlight. Landon reveals his final trick, a vessel that takes to the skies. Henry and his weary men gaze down at the dark, vast expanse of their empire, traveling in hours a distance that would have taken weeks to traverse by foot. Bonds are forged in the fires of conflict. Henry, once the weak prince, realizes that the man who saved him is a legend among kings. The journey back to the base is filled with mutual respect and a promise that the era of the weak has truly ended. But vengeance is patient. The demonic prince arrives at the base only to find the silence of a grave. His prey has vanished, and the king's treasure is gone. A game of shadows begins, and the hunt for the escaped prince has only just begun. While empires clash, life in Baymard persists in the pursuit of growth and joy. Perry and his wife prepare to test their mettle in the arena of fear factor, a testament to the thriving, vibrant spirit of a kingdom that refuses to be cowed by the shadows of war.